What's going on, everybody? This is Superstar O here, and thank you once again, as usual, for tuning in. In today's video, this is going to be another beat making video where I'm going to run you through and break down how I made my latest beat called Get High. It's a really dope Wiz Khalifa type beat. I have a track coming out on a Wiz Khalifa album that's soon to come out. So I've kind of just been listening around for Wiz type stuff. And this one came up actually while I was watching an anime recently. So let's go ahead and run you through it, break it down, and let's get to it. Alright, so like I said, this might be kind of a quick video because I'm not necessarily going to be making the beat right here. The beat's already done, but I really like this one, and I really kind of wanted to do a sample flip beat making video. So this is going to be more kind of a sample flip beat breakdown video, but we're going to do more actual making as well. But I just wanted to put up a quick video, so I figured something's better than nothing, so that's where we at. So if you don't know, I'm a big fan of anime. I watch anime damn near every night before I go to sleep, all types of stuff. And I was watching one that I've gotten into recently, and I heard this come on, and I was just like, yo, it's just one like 8-bar loop, then it turns into some crazy shit or whatever. But I was like, bro, I could make a dope ass like Wiz Khalifa type beat from that. So that's what I did. So right now I'm gonna just kind of run you through what I did, what I added, and how the thing built up. The beat's called Get High. You can hear the full beat here on YouTube too. I'm gonna upload this video at the same time as the actual beat. Or you can go to my website if you want to lease it, purchase it, whatever. Superstaro.com. Although I don't know how long it's gonna be up there. It might get taken down for use for something else. So originally it wasn't exactly like that. You can hear, well, I don't know if you can hear, but I chopped it in a bunch of different ways and kind of rearranged it a little bit, duplicated some of it, and made it into a really clean 8-bar loop to where all I got to do is just kill the drums, add a little instrument or so, and let's dive into that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, I started off with this sample. Then we just kind of added some drums in. So we can just go ahead and I'm gonna just kind of solo them in or whatever since I already did them. But like a little hitter snare in the background, just a little tap every now and then for a little extra oomph. Then I dropped in, I think, how many did I drop in? 1, 2, 3. 3 different hi-hat loops from our Pro hi-hat MIDI and loop pack. Came in super handy or whatever because I used 3 different kind of patterns, as you can see. One that's just like kind of steady and I had it low volume, and then one that's like 2 that are like real trappy and fast rolls. So I'll solo those in like one at a time. So this is the simple one that's in the background at like low volume. Actually like a shaker hi-hat. Then some rolls I dropped in there, and I actually, if you, well, I'll do a B-roll clip, okay? But I'm gonna show you, if you look in here, I actually took the hi-hat loop and I chopped it up in a bunch. I chopped the best rolls that I wanted out of the one loop, and I rearranged them to see to be in that exact way. So that's just an idea for something you guys can do too. If you do have the Pro hi-hat MIDI and loop pack from us, or if you get it, you know, you could take one, drop it in your project, and then if you're like, oh well, I like this, but I don't like certain parts of it, or certain parts don't fit this beat, I just cut those parts out. So that's what I did, and that's this part. Then I added this, for the second part of the hook, I added this like lo-fi little loopy loop too. Okay, so then, let's see, what did I, and then I have this little effects perk. It's like a little dot, like you can barely hear it, but it's a nice little addition for the beat, I think. By the way, excuse my haircut, because I don't have a haircut, so excuse something that's not there. Anyway, so now moving on, I did two different open hi-hats. You usually want to do, well, it depends on the beat, but for this one, I wanted the drums to kind of stand out and the sample to be the main thing, because there's a lot of instruments going on in sample. Didn't want to complicate the beat. So I used two different open hi-hats. One of them hits when the snare hits. Actually, both of them might hit. No, they don't. One of them's like a lower pitched one, and one's a high pitched one. And it just gives that much more of, you know, fills in the beat that much more without it making it too complex and too crazy, because people don't want that nowadays. So yeah, they do hit at the same time on the snare. Then I have this little vox, which you can barely hear, but it's just like a little yelling vox in here. But you can barely hear it when the whole beat's going on, but it's good for the end of the verse, because at the end of the verse, I mute out almost everything besides the sample in that, and it sounds really cool going back into the hook. So I'll let you hear that real quick. It's like a dude going like, oh, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But it sounds cool. But see, listen to the, well, you'll hear at the end of the verse. I'll let you hear. So then added in this cool like little bass layer. This, it's like a talking, it's actually from one of our packs. I forget which one, but it's just that's all it is. But I liked the way it sounded with the way I did the kick and everything. It gives it like a nice little bop. So check it out. Especially once you hear the 808 come in. All right, now you might not be able to see me from this angle, but you can see the computer and everything. But now let's go ahead and jump into, I also, you know, for the Wiz Khalifa type beat, I had to put a little cowbell in there. A little crash. This track is real smooth, real like something you just put on in the car and you ride around and you just fucking do what the title of the beat says. Then I added this nice little ride. This actually I've just added before I even started doing this video. This wasn't even originally in the beat, but it's just a little ride from one of my pro mixed SSO drum kits, but I only did it in the second part of the verses. Actually, not even, yeah, in the second part of the verses here and there. I can't even explain it, but here it is. You'll see right here. So you can barely hear it. I turned the volume down, whatever, but you can hear it and it's there, and it fills in the beat without making it too complex. So this is more of a, and this, I still feel like this was a good video to do as well, because even though I'm not physically making it right now, I'm also, some of you might learn something from how to make a beat sound full without making it too complex. Most people think like, okay, making the beat sound full means there has to be a lot going on. That's not the case. As you can see, there's not very many tracks in this beat. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, well there's 18 tracks, which even with 18, it's a little bit more than most industry stuff is on the radio today. But you have to keep in mind that a lot of these, they're just drums. So a lot of these are high, like 3 of them are hi-hats. You know what I mean? So 3 of them are hi-hats. 2 of them are open hi-hats. That's 5 right there that are just hi-hats in general. So you might see what I'm saying here is, if you want to make your beat full and you don't want to make it too complex, because that's not what artists really want right now. Unless some beats they do want complex, maybe a big intro, big outro, or just a big song in general. But on average, nowadays, people want beats that aren't doing too much but aren't doing too little, and their vocals and the actual song they put to the beat is a big part of the song. So, which is always a big part of the song, but you know what I mean. And pretty much lastly is the 808. Oh, and then I did do a synth lead for the hook to differentiate the hook from the verse and make it easy for people to do it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but how many times I've gotten an email, especially nowadays with the type of beats, like I said, that people want nowadays, where people are like, yo, I'm lost. Where's the hook? Where's the verse? And it's like, dude, wherever the fuck you want to put it. Nah, but so I did that, and I did the 808. So here's the bass, really nice, really, really clean 808. Really nice one. So I did the bass. I did some of them short, some of them long. That's kind of like a signature thing I do kind of often. I just kind of feels like it really helps the hits. Like every 808's not just the same length, going doon, 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 doon. Like, I mean, that gets kind of boring. So I switch it up a lot, and I have like some of the 808s short, some of them long, just kind of bopping and grooving. There's a reverse cymbal as well. I took the crash and I reversed it to make more of a... One more thing that might be useful to you all. Some of you might already do it or might already know about it, but something real quick that just caught my attention that I might want to mention as well is, like I said, I took the crash and I did a little reverse for it. It reversed the audio to make it a reverse cymbal. That's something that some of you might not do that often. Some of you might take a reverse cymbal sample and just match it up best you can with the crash. But I mean, that works fine. But if you want to make sure the crash and the reverse crash or the reverse sound are like it's identical, you know what I mean, or sound exactly the same type of frequencies, then simply just reverse the crash, you know what I mean, and shorten it, maybe speed it up, maybe slow it down, depending on whatever you need. And then also, you probably know that, but then also, most of the time, I leave a tiny little, I'll do some B-roll footage to show you, but I leave a tiny little gap between the end of the audio for the reverse and then like a little pause before the actual next of the beat drops, because it'll give it a nice little, you hear it? Just a quick pause, but it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Now, last thing is I did this cool ass synth lead. I believe the sound came from our Krypton VST's Green Goblin expansion pack. It's just a saw lead, but it's layered a couple times. It's got a nice little sound to it, and it's low. I lowered the volume because I didn't want it to be too crazy. Like I said, I just wanted to differentiate the hook from the verse and also give a little flavor for the verse. And it's really cool. Like, I did a whole bunch of different stuff with it. Like, you'll see in the first part of the hook, I used the lead in like a cool like DJ Khaled type way or something, and then at the very end of the second half of the hook, I did like a glidey type crazy thing, and then a super high pitched version of that you'll see right now. That's the end of the verse where I was saying that vocal really comes into play as well. I mean, it's just it's not like anything super dramatic, crazy, but it's a nice. This beat has really nice soul, really nice feeling to it. So without making it too complex, right there for the end of the verse, I drop out the hi-hats, a bunch of sounds, and at the very end, I make it just the sample and just that vocal, and I turn the volume up on that vocal a little bit from everywhere else it is in the beat. And it's like I put a lot of reverb on it, so it's like oh. I don't know what it's doing, so I'm not a very good imitation at that, but my light just went out. That's pretty much it for this one. You can go ahead, like I said, check out the full beat on the website or right here on YouTube and on superstarro.com. And let's see if there's a little tip that I can give you guys in this beat making video as well. I want to try to leave a little tip in every video now. Just a little extra little tip, you know what I'm saying? All right, so here is a little tip for this beat making video or beat breakdown video, whatever you want to call it. Basically, say like in this beat, it's a perfect example for this type of beat. Say you have a beat like this, whether it's sample or not, or just has a few instruments and you want the drums to do most of the talking. A lot of the times nowadays, you're gonna have 2 or 3 different regular closed hi-hats in beats to make them, you know, that's just what's hot right now. You got one that's just steady every now and then. Then you got some doing these crazy rolls every now and then. Then you might have a lo-fi one doing little knocks, whatever. That's just something that's really hot right now if you know how to do that type of stuff. If you don't, you just get the pro hi-hat, MIDI and loop pack, and you just drop them shits into your beat, and then you don't have to know how to do it. You just cheat. No, I'm just playing. I just cheated, shit. I know how to do it and I'm cheating. But anyway, point is, the tip here is, you don't want all those hi-hats, of course, to be centered in the same thing. So this is kind of like a hi-hat mixing tip here. You don't want all of them you don't want to just drop them in there and just let them do their thing and just all be sitting in the same space. That's what mixing in general, everything needs to be in its own space, kind of for the most part. It's like a puzzle, right? So say like for this one, I have 3 different hats. My main one, I have an effect on it. This is an effect that you guys can go get. It's called Pancake. It's a free plugin. It's something that I use like multiple times in all my beats. It's just a free plugin that just lets things move back and forth. It's just a panning modulator. It just pans. That's all it does. That's a big tip in mixing. You need stuff to be moving around. Everything can't just be centered. So say like I said, for 3 hi-hats, my main one is just going tit 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 in the background low. I have it slowly moving left and right, real slow, just moving. It's moving, but it's moving slow, right? Then I have the rolls kind of in the center. Those little fast ones, they're kind of like bouncing left and right, fast, like they're moving, right? You know what I mean? So those ones are moving faster. And then in the very center, I have the ones that are knocking, like for the second half, the ones that are going like tit 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 tit. And you could switch it up any way you want. You could have one of them just stay straight in the center, like say the steady one, you don't got it panning at all. You just got it right here. Just pop, 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 pop. Then you got fast hi-hat rolls, right? Let's say you got 2 hi-hats in your beat. Those fast ones you can have going, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, I'm sitting here doing this shit with my sound, with my voice, instead of doing it with hi-hats, but this is easier. You guys know what I'm saying. We're all producers here. You know what the hell I'm talking about. So that's just a quick tip, man. Check it out. It's called Pancake. I'll do a B-roll footage so you guys can see what I'm talking about, because you can't really see the screen from here. But this is it. It's called Pancake. You can go Google search it. It's a free plugin. It's a free plugin by Cable Guys. Very nice one. All my VIP producer members already know about this one, of course. Been known about it for years, but just want to give everybody, the public, a tip every now and then in these beat making videos. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment on what you would like to see in the future beat making videos. And sorry that this isn't an actual making video and it's more of a breakdown video, but like I said, something's better than nothing. All right, everybody, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Grind or die. Hashtag producer gang. Make sure the gang is in all caps and go post that shit everywhere. Grind or die, baby. Peace out. What's up with you?
I can.
You gonna be in my video?
Yeah.
Huh? Come
here.
here. What?
Look.
What's that?
Wait, can.
Want me to open that?
Yeah.
Let me open it for you.